Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. I am Donnie, and along with my wife, we are two Americans currently living in Germany and sharing all of our experiences living and traveling throughout Europe. But we are currently living in the worst time to be in Germany. So we are currently still moving our places, so that is why I'm not in our regular set like I usually am for our videos again. And also, my last video was all about why moving in Germany is kind of a bureaucratic nightmare. And you may be thinking maybe that is what makes this the worst time to live in Germany. And actually, we've gotten past pretty much all of that, so we're good now. And maybe you're also thinking it's because of COVID and the case numbers are skyrocketing right now. So that makes it the worst time to be living in Germany. But that also isn't quite right. But before I get further into that, I do need to run to a hardware store and get a few different things that I need to fix at our house that we're moving into. So I'm gonna run there, grab some stuff, and then we'll continue this conversation later. So I do feel like with these kind of videos where we're saying this is the worst part about living in Germany, something like that, you always have to first say, I love living in Germany. Of course, we love living in Germany. However, there still is a certain particular aspect of living in Germany that really does kinda suck. I think if you would have asked me about the weather in Germany before I moved here, I probably would have described what I had seen in like pictures and movies, something like the snow in the wintertime and it being just majestic and beautiful and fairy tale. And in the summertime, I imagine like the English garden in Munich and sun and people laying out along the river. But what I didn't imagine is actually the reality of German weather. So we actually moved to Germany in August of 2019 and we were rolling into September. So it was on the very tail end of the summer and we got here, it was bright, sunshiny, beautiful weather, but then the fall quickly came and not too long after being here and getting settled in, we went to a church service here in town and at the beginning of the service, the pastor made a joke about that weekend's weather and how it was particularly gray and dark and gloomy, and he told everybody to kind of buckle up and get ready because the next 17 to 24 months were going to be nothing but gray and cloudy. And everybody else in the crowd kind of seemed to laugh, but as if they were on the inside of this joke. But Aubrey and I kind of nervously laughed because we didn't know what he was talking about. And then we kind of started thinking, does he mean this is what the weather is going to be like for a long period of time? Whenever you think of a cloudy or rainy climate, what is the place that comes to your mind, or the city that you feel like is the epitome of like a cloudy and rainy city? Write that in the comments, but for me, it was always Seattle, Washington. And Seattle is like the epitome of you go there, you need to brace yourself for seasonal depression because of how cloudy and gloomy it is and how little you see the sun. And where we're from in Oklahoma, you actually get quite a bit of sunshine from the summer to the fall, the winter, the spring, all of it across the board, you get quite a bit of sunshine. It's no California, but it still is a lot. So whenever we came to Germany, that became the shock, is just how gray and gloomy and cloudy it is basically for what feels like at least 9 months out of the year. Once fall rolls around, it becomes so gray and gloomy and rainy and it doesn't go away and you don't get relief for a very, very long time. By the way, I do know that Aubrey would appreciate me saying that for the last 2 videos, you've seen me at the new house working, trying to get the place set up, and it may give the impression that she's not actually helping and I've been setting up everything myself, which is false. false. I just like to come over here while she's at her clinic working her full-time job during the day, and since I work from home, I'm able to kind of step away and take little breaks and come to the house and set things up myself, and that is when I've been recording these videos. She's been doing a lot as well, but also some of the stuff is just staged for the videos, so I'm not actually doing everything or a lot by myself. Don't let me fool you. So just to actually justify my feelings about the weather in Germany, I did look up some data just to verify, is it just our perspective and just the way that we perceive our area as being this gray and cloudy compared to what we came from? Or is it truly gray, cloudy, and rainy for everybody? And so I looked up some data real quick and I found this. On climatedata.org, for the city that's closest to us, Kaiserslautern, they wrote this: there is significant rainfall throughout the year in Kaiserslautern. Even the driest month still has a lot of rainfall. And then I also looked up for the average amount of sunshine per year in different cities like Seattle and Kaiserslautern. And then also I threw in London because of course everybody knows about old foggy London. And this is what I found. In London, they average about 1,481 hours of sun per year. In Seattle, they average about 2,170 hours of sun per year, and Kaiserslautern averages about 2,396 hours of sunshine per year, which puts Kaiserslautern at roughly, if you have a 12-hour day, about 16 days ahead of Seattle in terms of sunshine. So it is a little bit better than, say, Seattle, Washington, and it is fairly significantly better than London. However, it is still very gray, cloudy, and rainy for a lot of the year. Now, besides just the cloudy, gray, rain part of living here that is so dark, also it literally gets darker here quite a bit earlier in the winter. So just for example, right now it's about 5:44 in the afternoon or evening, depending on how you want to call it, and it is already like pitch black. Now, just for reference, this is being filmed at the end of November, so not in December yet, but it's already pitch black outside, and maybe that's kind of expected. It's almost 6 o'clock, so I'll give you that. However, the shortest day of the year here in Kaiserslautern is nearly an hour and a half, almost an hour and 45 minutes shorter of daylight than where we're from in Oklahoma. Of course, there are parts of the US that do have extremely short days. I mean, let's talk about Alaska. But for me, where I come from, in the wintertime, it gets dark so incredibly early. It's super common for it to be 4 in the afternoon or 4:30 and it already be completely dark for nighttime in the real deep part of the winter. But it is just a little bit difficult to get used to when we come from a lower latitude line on the globe where the sun does stay out a little bit longer than here in the wintertime. So whenever you are feeling very dark and gloomy in the wintertime here, one thing that you need are things to pick you up, and one thing that is not helping with that right now is the amount of IKEA furniture that we are putting together in our house. I already know this is gonna be one thing that we will definitely feel really good about getting all of this done being built, because what a headache this stuff is. Now, one thing that we have talked about in many of our other videos is how impressed and inspired we are by Germans and how they stick to and really live by the phrase, es gibt kein schlechtes Wetter, es gibt nur falsche Kleidung. Because it doesn't matter what the weather is, Germans are outside enjoying the nature, whether it be walking or biking or hiking. If it's raining, they wear their rain gear. If it's snowing, they wear their snow gear. It doesn't have to be a perfect, beautiful day for them to actually get outside and enjoy it. And that's something that is really important that we have learned to really grasp living here when it does get so gray and gloomy and rainy, and also it starts to get so dark early, is we can't just adjust our lives to stay indoors just because the weather and the climate and the light has changed. So even though we in the summertime can get off work and we can go for walks really late in the night and it still be bright. We can't stop doing that in the winter just because it's dark. So whenever Aubrey gets off work and I stop working in the evenings, we both still go walking even though it is the way that it is. And there are other things too that we've heard people doing, like getting a vitamin D lamp so that they get that sunlight treatment even though it's not coming from the sun in the winter time. So I'd be really interested in knowing from you guys what the best ways are for overcoming kind of like the winter glooms and blues whenever it does get so dark and gloomy. What do you guys do to stay positive or stay active in this winter time? Leave all those thoughts in the comments because I'd be really interested in hearing those and learning more ways that we can adapt to this new kind of climate and environment.
Jingle them bells and frolic.
Now, even though I'm saying this is the worst part of the year because of the gray and gloom, there's still one thing this part of the year offers that no other part of the year offers that makes it actually the best time of the year.
It's the best day of the year. Come fly with me now, Rudy. I'm loaded. Count the hours and minutes till the last week of December.
Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. And honestly, I'd like to know, the last two videos have been kind of these vlog style videos. Let me know what you think of them in the comments below as opposed to our regular studio videos. If you liked it, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And also, to see who made it this far in the video, the random question of the week is, what is your absolute favorite Christmas market food or treat? Leave those in the comments below. Thanks again for watching, and we will see you in our next video. Tschüss! Was imagining the snow in the fall. What? No, in the winter. August of 2019, rolling pretty straight into not December, next month in September. And then to also make sure that, and then I also looked up for the